played this record as frequently as possible.
Let's do this!
Alright, in this one, I will be diving into my part 3 of the 5th anniversary top 10 meta ranking units tier list. Obviously, I do this whenever a new character that shakes up the meta does release, and given every single part of the anniversary, you're going to have some big changes within the meta, team dynamics, and obviously best units in the game. PvP wise, you're obviously getting the boost system, which is all included within these rankings. Teams individually and color play huge factors and roles into every single one of my takes. So you guys can see here, we have been grinding ranked PvP with the brand new Ultra Vegito Blue. So I have tested them out on various setups, from Future to Fusions to Uni Rep, you name it, support setups, Zenkai buff builds, and he is arguably the best unit in the game. I'm going to do this list a bit differently. I'm going to break down a lot of interchangeabilities. However, I will still give every singular unit a placement. There isn't going to be, this unit is interchangeable with this on the tier list. I will express if that I do believe they can be interchanged. However, I am going to be crowning a king of the game in this video. These are all obviously initial takes, given this is 2 to 3 days after the unit did release. We have used them a ton already, and I do have a pretty good understanding of where the teams are, what teams are kind of dominating the top ranks, what teams are dominating the meta, and how units are encounter each other here. We take a quick look at my previous list. I didn't actually make a video on this one that you see on the screen. I did drop a part 2 list with the Gammas. However, Trunks did drop afterwards, and he kind of barely made my top 10 arguable with purple UI. So I did just make a quick community post. I don't think a lot of people agreed with this specifically. Gammas were cooking. Kid Buu is still at the top. He's just been ridiculous ever since his release. Ultras all are individually insane. But with the teams, right, Future started to see a rise again with the Trunks. It's definitely up there now with UVB, and given he did revive a ton of teams, like Fusions is back in the meta. Gogeta is definitely gaining some value, and I think Uni Rep is still the best arguable team in the game if we're really thinking about it. So this list is going to change dramatically. So if you guys are ready for it, I will be crowning a unit in the game number 1, and whatnot, so forth. Make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, because I do upload here every single day with Legends content. I will be covering everything throughout the rest of just every update. You know, that's what we do here on the channel. But yeah, I'm going to actually be starting at the bottom of the list here, just because, you know, I do want to build anticipation for a non-obvious placement on the first spot. You know, it could go either way to certain characters, and then even 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. There's a lot of interchangeable spots, but I will be making specific tier placements. Make sure to not skip if you guys want my full takes. And the number 10 spots here, I've thought about it for quite a bit. However, a lot of my raw emotions, I came straight out of PvP to make this video here, is going to be this purple UI sign Goku right here. I think individually they made a fantastic Zenkai out of him. He's not too squishy. He definitely hits very hard. He has that unique gauge. Honestly, one of the best mechanics in the game, because you're not able to be instantly hit, right? It's going to be a great counter for the new Vegito Blue, considering Vegito Blue takes out your Vanish for the first time that he is on the field. So say you want to start out with him, Vegito is not going to be able to cook you right away. He's not going to be able to get priority on you. On top of that, he's doing damage to Fusion Warriors, extra damage to Fusion Warriors, so a little bit more damage on that aspect. He has access to the best team in the game, given Uni Rep, right, the best partner, Go Freeze, as you guys can see the comp that I do have on the screen. He is a bench option to Zenkai buff Go Freeze, but on top of that, you can actually bring him in certain scenarios, and he will cook. He does have cover nullification, AoE green card, hard hitting, you know, blast, ultimate, blue card, etc. But yeah, just the main counter to UVB and just being a solid option on Universe Rep is fantastic, right? Some of the best partners in the game. I do think UI is a little bit slept on in some, you know, some opinions that I've seen, and then at the same time, people really do respect this Zenkai. So I'm glad to have him, you know. UI is actually one of my favorite forms, favorite characters in the game, so I'm glad to see him viable in PvP again. But that is going to be my 10th placement right there. This next unit, this next character is going to be a little bit funny. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is, I believe, Let's take a quick look here. The next unit will be... The Gammas? Am I really about to put the Gammas up here? I think I will be putting the Gammas up here. Individually, the Gammas are ridiculous, right? Individually, I think the Gammas are still ridiculous. Yellow units are just straight cucked. It's very difficult. You would think UI is going to just get the placement over him just because of team dynamic or whatever. Individually, the Gammas are nuts. So whatever team you slap the Gammas on, they will cook. You can build them striker blast oriented, given their stats do match up to that. They don't have too many, I don't think at all, specific to blast damage, right? You could build them for a strike comp, and they're going to be doing solid strike damage. They do go type neutral. They have constant vanish restoration. They have that core breaker ability, which is nuts. Their only problem is their color. Obviously, teams, play a huge role. If you're running uni-rep, androids, you slap UVB on any of these teams, it's still going to work. This unit will still cook. They do go type neutral as well, right? Let's keep that in mind. They have very easy type neutral to gain access to. It's just if they're caught in a combo with UVB, it's literally 2 to 3 cards plus a blue card in any scenarios, and it's so much damage. I have this 2 copies of UVB, and he's slaughtering characters. He's slaughtering units. And I think that's one issue that UVB does have. He has trouble going type neutral in certain areas, but it is accessible. And the Gammas have a lot easier type neutrality. They do have comps. Color is their main issue. They did drop drastically, as you can see right before UVB did drop. They were on movies. You could slap them on androids. They're still existing on those teams, but they were just a lot more comfortably ran. Very similar to Kid Buu. He's about to drop insanely as well. But I am going to be slapping, I think, Kid Buu at the number 8 spot right here. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking like, yo, how? And some of you guys are like, there's always going to be a mixed opinions here. I just think individually these units are very, very good, and they can be slapped on different leader slot positions, tapped in with certain ultras, right? You could have VB literally on any build in the game, slapped on leader slot, and similar with Kid Buu as well. If you want to leader slot these characters, it will cook. Kid Buu's healing, AoE green cards, the lock-ins, the blast armor, the autopilot, damage potential is ridiculous. So Kid Buu's fantastic. I think the only thing that's holding him back right now is the VB's meta. I don't think it's enough to put him lower than this. You could argue that he's lower than this. I just don't see it. I could argue that UI's value is higher. It's just overall, if we're comparing Kid Buu to this UI, right? UI's only argument is that he's on the best team. That's literally his argument. If we're comparing these two, Kid Buu slaughters UI in terms of individuality. So I'm going to be giving the benefit of the doubt to Kid Buu. He's going to be a little bit higher on the list. Meta-wise, there is going to always be a counter to every specific unit in the game. So I'm actually going to do this. I personally think that this can be fair. Gammas are not going to be seeing too much playtime, but I don't think I can have them any lower than number 10. Just thinking about what the number 10 units are, I don't think I could have them any lower. Individually, they're right there. So, it's not only individual that we're rating, it's not only team-based that we're rating. So I'm just keeping all that in mind. Kid Buu is ridiculous, and he is deserving of a top 5-3 spot if we're talking individual nature. I do think he's probably number 3 in the game for only talking individually. But we're going to move on to number 7 here, and I do believe that is hits. Bro, the list change is dramatic. Seeing some of these units just fall. Like, obviously, you can run hit. Uni-rep, best team in the game. You're going to be running hit. You're going to be running red, purple. You're going to be running just full uni-rep is still going to cook. There's just not many yellows to snipe right now. On top of that, VB is the popular red. There are a ton of blue options to wall off red units right now. Everyone is running MVP 17. Everyone's running Future Trunks. Those two specifically, obviously, Go Frieza has the Frieza side. Beast Gohan, you're not really seeing Beast, but you can see Beast. Movies is not a completely dead team. You're going to be running to movies. You're going to be running to the Gammas, etc. Right? Movies just got a little bit of a revamp, but Hit's still fantastic. He snipes. Green card, easy cover nullification, healing, Z ability, you name it, right? Hit is still fantastic. It's just strictly power creep and where the, best units are kind of, or the best teams. There's a lot of arguments to be made where a unit is ranking solely, like Kid Buu right now. I'm having him up here because of how individually good he is, but if we're talking about, say, like UI Sign, he's great individually, but he's definitely carried by his team right now, and so are, like, the unit that I'm going to put above Hits. I think number 6 is defo gonna have to be this man, Trunks. You guys are probably thinking, Trunks, really? Yes, I think he's on arguably the best team in the game, which is gonna be like some form of future comp. You could also throw Trunks on Unirep. You could throw Trunks on Fusions with Vegito, Gogeta. Like I said, Unirep, you could throw Trunks with Goku, Frieza, Hits, 17, whatever you name it. This setup right here, just pure future. It's a fantastic build. You kind of have the cover for pretty much anyone that you need. Goku Black is covering the blue side of Go Frieza. Given you don't have like a purple cover, whatever. Trunks is just he's disrupting, he's tanking, he deals a ton of damage. Obviously, if you're running pure future, you're getting access to the future pures. You have VB on the team. And he is a great counter for UVB right now. Blue units have gained tremendous value to wall off one of the best units in the game. And I think Trunks is definitely deserving of this spot. He's very similar to UI. They did a great job on his Zenkai. Just overall, his mechanics. You're able to run him on more teams. I think hybrids is like, he's going to get his endurance from that aspect. But great team, honestly. I would recommend you guys trying it. I've ran it a ton. The only problem with this specific setup is that there's not too much rush protection other than, Trunks' endurance. You can rush through that with UVB, and then UVB does lock your Rising Rush. So that's like the only real rush protection. More teams that I've seen better, like overall for the Trunks, is if you're running, say, Trunks on Fusion Warriors. Even then, it's like you need to kind of be running Go Frieza. And this is kind of preluding to the top units in the game right now. But yeah, Trunks at a number 6 spot, I feel like is respectable. Can I put him higher? No. I don't think Trunks is higher than number 6. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This is the peak for my boy. We're getting into the top 5 placements in the game, and this is a little bit interchangeable. I do think, I'm going to say this, and I repeat, number 4 and number 5, preference interchangeable, given future slash fusions are like equal in terms of prowess right now. If you're running a fusions team, you could throw Go Frieza, Gogeta Blue, Vegito Blue. That's a fantastic team. If you want to throw Pan on leader slot for Gogeta, Vegito, that's a fantastic team. If you want to throw Gogeta on leader, like fusions have gained so much value with UVB, obviously. You need 2 units to make a team really viable because you can add a 3rd support unit or you could add another powerhouse unit on a leader slot position. So I am having Gogeta at the number 5th spot. He has jumped from top 7 to number 5, given he can be number 4. I can see him being number 4. Can I see him being number 3? I feel like there is a slight argument to be made for number 3 as well. There's Kid Buus are not running around as much. Yellows are not running around as much. You're, looking to be a rush merchant with this Trunks running around. He pairs perfectly synergized-wise with VB. He fits very well in a lot of leader slot positions. But just individually as well, he's fantastic. I am going to throw him at number 5, though. Like I said, you can interchange these placements, but yeah, we're going to throw your boy at number 5. At number 4, we're going to slap Rose. You're probably thinking, Vergil, the Ultras at 4 and 5. Who's going to be number 3? Who is number 3 in the game? Who is number 3 in the game? Rose is fantastic. You guys see me running him on Future here. He's one of the best partners for UVB. He counters, the Go Frieza side, Go Frieza. There's good color synergy here. You have good protection from either the Trunks. Rose is kind of just like a solo god. Like he has this type of playstyle where he has the type neutrality that one time in the game when you pop main, and you're not really worrying about too much. He gets his Vanish back pretty easily. You fill up that gauge really nicely. He has 3 ultimates. Individually, dude is nuts. He fits on one of the best teams here. It's self-explanatory, right? It's not too deep into it. He doesn't have, there's a lot of blue units right now. There's a lot of blue units that you're going to be taking down from MVP to Frieza to Trunks, right? I'm thinking that specifically. You're going to be running into a lot of blue units trying to combat the number UVB in the game. So I think Rose is definitely deserving of that spot, higher than Gogeta for that specific reason, given they both pair well with UVB very similarly. But the team dynamics, if you want to run Trunks, Gogeta, UVB, that's a team. If you want to run Rose, Trunks, UVB, that's a great team as well. But I think my list is looking pretty solid so far. We're going to jump into the third best character in the game. Believe it or not, Universe Rep taking it home. This team right here, I declare as the superior best team in the game. Triple rush protection. Triple rush protection from VB locking your rush, from Go Frieza having the gauge to, anti-rush, and then 17 having the nullify rush ability. Like, what more can you ask for? On top of that, 17 doing extra damage to Fusion Warriors. So UVB, he's having color advantage to UVB on top of doing more damage to UVB. Best team in the game. Partners up with Go Frieza. Fantastic. You slap Vegito on leader slot. Fantastic. This is the best team in the game. And in a worst case scenario, if you want to swap out 17 for UI, he's a great option there to combat UVB as well, having the anti-Fusion Warrior percentages and the gauge, right? I do really wholeheartedly believe this to be the best team in the game. Try it out. I just made a video on this team. Go check out that video. But, the cut penetration he provides to the rest of the team after he fills up his gauge, the healing, the damage, the disruption, you name it. This dude is a utility god. On top of that, he has a ton of diverse options. Not only Unirep, you're running him on androids, you're running him on leader slot in certain positions that he's going to work completely fine with. But yeah, I really do think that if you guys really want to interchange these three, I'm just going to mention that you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, and I wouldn't be mad at you guys. That's the interchangeability that I wanted to let you guys know. However, this is the format that I am personally doing. Number 2, this is where it gets spicy. Who is the king of the game? Who is the king of the game, bro? Who is the king of the game, man? The number 2 unit right now, I think number 1 is very close. UVB is pretty much the top unit in the game, but he's not. I'm going to slap him at number 2. I think UVB is fantastic. He's cracked. You're going to see him in every single game. He has stupid mechanics. He has the green card, the most passive, insane gameplay. He has very hard cover null. Obviously, people are very nervous to engage because of the green card and whatnot. It's very obvious when you're going for a green card nowadays. But, yeah, that is the one time you can activate cover null. On top, you could go for the Rising Rush, and you're also going to get cover null for 10 counts from that. But it's not as easy cover null as Go Frieza or, say, like other units that have insane combo potential. You can shut down UVB quite well. He has a nuke ultimate, so you're sniping everybody in the game. Blast armor gameplay, autopilot. You're throwing this dude on Future. You're throwing this dude on Unirep. You're throwing this dude on Fusions. He has a ton of diversity in the game. He's destroying yellow units. They're deceased. They don't exist in PvP. So I'm keeping this guy. I really don't want to slander Kid Buu this much. I don't want to slander Kid Buu this much. I was going to put him, like, I could do this. I could really do this, but I don't think I'm going to. I just do think Kid Buu is still able to hold his own, even in scenarios like this. Obviously, you're going to need a really solid blue unit to protect yourself from Kid Buu, but given there are purple units running around, Goku Frieza, there's a purple unit. Gogeta, there's a purple unit. There's going to be color counters for pretty much everything in the game, but the counter's nuts. You guys already know everything he does. Like, he's just so freaking stupid, and he's arguable for number 1 right now. I do think that they're close, but I did promise you guys to add everybody into their own tiers. The best unit in the game is the king of Unirep, the king of the game still. Goku and Frieza just has so much to them, right? They're just the MVPs, right? After that buff that they received, right? Constantly healing, their damage inflicted is ridiculous. They're easily able to restore their vanish with their green card on Go Frieza, the swapping from Goku to Frieza, their blue card damage potential, their team potential, the amount of Zenkai buffs they can do on certain scenarios, the fact that you can pair him up with First Form Frieza for blue cards and then have someone like on Vegito on leader slot, because you double support with Pan. you name it. I think Go Frieza has the most diversity in the game. On top of being on the best setup in the game, the best partners, I do think they have easier cover nullification. They obviously swap colors as well. The cover null is actually really insane on Go Frieza. But keep in mind, Vegito has very easy cover null as well. Obviously, you got to just swap him into the game. The gauge is very easy to get. It's like a couple of cards you have continuous cover nullification as well. But the type neutral as well. I do think it's very close between the number 1 and number 2 position here. So it's no right or wrong answer. If you wanted to do this interchangeable, these 3 to be interchangeable, and then this is what the real tier list would look like. If you guys, just wanted to know that. But I did end up placing them all in their own placements for you guys, so you can see really what I'm thinking in more of that fashion. I think Pan is at number 11. I do think Revival, if we scroll down, Revival UI probably 12, Kayawe 13, Beast Gohan, he's great. Could probably put Beast higher just because UVB, right? So you really want to slap him around here. All these units can all low-key be interchangeable. I feel like Jiren has been dropped to the top 15. I don't think he's behind the top 15, even though, he's a yellow unit. He's still on the best team, so there's obviously going to be covers for him. And, he's just, a fantastic unit. It's strictly because of color here, but this is what my top list is going to be looking like, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But, yeah, I do really like this list. And like I said, give me you guys opinions in the comments. I'll see you guys in the very next one. Stay frosty, and I'm out.
Up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight, so you don't gotta wait on me.